The Queensland Premier is in unfamiliar territory. No longer the opposition hunter exploiting a protest vote, Anastasia Palaszczuk is now the hunted.
A do-nothing Labor government with a Premier who simply can't make a decision.
I've been sick and tired of people saying you don't make decisions. I have made a decision.
And that decision nearly a week ago is continuing to dominate the state election campaign. A surprise policy U-turn to veto a proposed $1 billion Commonwealth loan to Adani's Carmichael coal and rail project.
10 minutes to midnight, they've pulled their support, they've pulled the economic rug out from real businesses and real people here in North Queensland that are just trying to have a go.
Anastasia Palaszczuk surprised nearly everyone by winning the 2015 Queensland election on the wave of an unprecedented swing against the Newman LNP government. Nearly 3 years on, 7:30 joined the Premier's media campaign bus as she attempts to secure a second term.
We've got a pick-off here, so you can stay on the bus for 10 minutes or so and do any filing you need to do or whatever you need to do. So you've got a little bit of time, yeah.
First stop was a visit to an ambulance station with her health minister, followed by a short drive to a nearby hospital, where she announced plans for a major redevelopment.
What a beautiful little boy.
Unlike the 2015 election, Anastasia Palaszczuk's campaign this time around is a lot more tightly controlled, taking advantage of all the trappings of incumbency. But there are times when the Premier reverts to opposition mode.
You will not see the savage cuts that you saw under Tim Nicholls. That is my promise to you.
Tim Nicholls is the opposition leader, who, as the Premier is keen to remind everyone, was also the treasurer in the Newman LNP government. You do mention the Newman government a lot in your campaigning. Are you, to some extent, trying to do a rerun of the 2015 campaign?
No, not at all, because I am very concerned that you have Campbell Newman's right-hand man, Tim Nicholls, the man who was responsible for all the cuts to services, who wanted to sell our assets, who's putting forward himself to be Premier of this state. He's got a track record.
Despite this political baggage, Tim Nicholls believes he's on a winner with Labor's Adani loan backflip.
The LNP will not sacrifice the jobs of the people of North Queensland simply to do a deal with inner-city Greens to preserve power. And I said it earlier in the week, I never thought I'd see the day when a Labor Premier abandons North Queensland jobs simply to protect her own.
Are you going to stop the $1 billion going to the Adani mine?
Although Labor's intention to veto any Commonwealth Adani loan was announced 6 days ago, the controversy has taken up large parts of the Premier's media conferences every day since then. Are you concerned it's a controversy you just can't seem to shake off?
No, not at all, no. Because as I've said very clearly, we support the project. It needs to stack up financially, independently. It needs to stand on its own 2 feet. But we've been very clear about, I don't think the people of Queensland do not want to see taxpayers' money used to go to a billionaire. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Have you been losing control of the campaign since you made that Adani announcement last week?
No, not at all.
Part of the problem has been Labor's inability to give a clear explanation for the policy shift. The Premier last week cited a perceived conflict of interest issue with her partner working for an Adani-related consultancy, but later argued it was a 2015 election promise. Her treasurer, who previously supported the Adani loan, has now told 7:30 of a third reason, a community backlash.
I think what this shows is that we are a government that responds and listens to the concerns that are being raised. We've made ourselves clear this is a federal government loan scheme, but today we can say yet again that we are not backing $1 billion of taxpayers' money going to a foreign mining company, Adani.
Whatever reasons Labor has for the mid-campaign policy shift, the Queensland Greens are keen to claim responsibility. But they argue Labor hasn't gone far enough, and the Greens are still a good chance of picking up an inner-city seat.
People are still really unhappy about Adani. The people we've been speaking to are still really confused. They're still really unhappy with the fact that Adani is still on the table. People can still see that the government are trying to have an each-way bet.
I heard you had an election on. I thought I'd come
Oh,
say
how are you? The people you meet in Maryborough.
Labor leader Bill Shorten joined the Premier on the hustings today in what will be a critical state in the next federal election. Polling so far suggests this almost accidental Premier will struggle to form a majority government.
Premier, how difficult have you found the campaign this time around compared to 2015 when you could rely on the protest vote?
Look, I love campaigning. To tell you the honest truth, this is no different to what I do each and every day. To me, I'm just continuing to do my job.